I've been off my skateboard now for a few weeks, about 3 weeks, and my knees still feel like shit. And I talked a lot about this in all the videos I made of the Ontario skate park tour this year. And basically what I'm starting today is both a journey to see if I can fix my knees, or sort of what the diagnosis is and what I'm looking at for the rest of my life. And also as sort of a video journal of this journey. Very well spoken this morning. I'm on my way to go and get my knees assessed. I'm getting what's called a knee KG today. I think they're going to have me do several tests, and they're going to see how my knees are tracking and maybe if they can give me some assistance there. I have seen my doctor and had x-rays. They've referred me to an orthopedic surgeon, and I go and see the surgeon about 6 weeks from now, towards the end of December. They did say they saw the beginning of arthritis, so I don't know necessarily what that means. I know what arthritis means, but I don't know if we're talking osteoarthritis or arthritis in the tendon or what's going on, so I'm sure I'll get more information. And really today the knee KG is an assessment tool that I'm going to use as well to take to the surgeon. I'm just trying to gather as much information about what's going on with my knees so that hopefully, together with a few professionals, I can come up with a plan to try and fix them and still get some more mileage out of them. Well, that was pretty interesting. So that's Tara, that's my physiotherapist, and she's the one that basically got me through last year with all the physio work so that I kept skateboarding. And this year, I didn't bother to go see her towards the end of the season when my knees were getting really bad, because I knew that there was nothing she was going to do unless I was ready to take some time off, and now I am. So, got enough time to go home and grab a coffee, and then it's off to get some laser therapy today, and let's see if that's going to do anything to help at least the tendonitis. What's up, my friends? We're now 2 weeks past the knee KG exam that I did with the physiotherapy place, and I've got my results back. So let's talk about that real quick, shall we? So this is the little sheet that they gave me, and basically went over all of these issues. So the knee KG identified 5 different issues basically with my gait. Okay, so let's go over what's been happening in my gait, like in my stride as I'm walking, and why that's causing issues. So I'm gonna over-exaggerate the movement as I show you. It's clearly not this bad, but I wanna over-exaggerate so it's clear as to what's happening as I walk, right? And that's part of the issue. So basically, as I go to take off in my stride, my foot is going outwards, sort of duck-footed. And then when I land on my heel, my foot is then rotating in. But we shouldn't have that outward motion. My foot should be tracking forward. So what happens is I land on my heel, the foot tracks inward, so I am landing with my foot straight, but it's pivoting into that position, and then my knee is collapsing inward. And where my knee should be tracking forward with some bend over my toes, it's actually not bending enough and collapsing inward. So I'm getting this kind of motion as I walk. And then as I go to toe off, my ankle is collapsing outward, and this is creating all of the gait issues. Now, this isn't going to be the total solution, and once I see the surgeon in a couple weeks, if there is osteoarthritis inside of this joint, then that's really got to be taken care of. And what we're trying to do with correcting this tracking issue is at least help the knee. And if my knee has been tracking the wrong way and building like an arthritis issue, then hopefully by stabilizing my knee, training my knee to track the right way, that'll start to alleviate some of my problems. I don't think this is going to be the end-all fix for sure, but it's hopefully going to give me some relief in the way that my knee tracks. And also, as the knee's tracking wrong, my kneecap is essentially tracking in the wrong direction. And if my kneecap's tracking in the wrong way, it's putting stress on that tendon, which is where the tendonitis is coming from. So I think the exercises that the physio has given me to get my knee tracking properly is going to help with some of the tendonitis issues. But if I do also have osteoarthritis going on in the knee, then that's going to be a separate issue that I've got to deal with. So with all that information, what do I do with it now? Like, how do I use that information to help me? So first step right now is the physio has given me 8 exercises to work on, and each of these exercises is designed to try and stabilize one of those points that we're talking about, where my knee is not tracking or my ankle is not tracking properly. So I've got some resistance bands, and they're basically having me do a number of exercises with these resistant bands, and the way I'm placing the resistance band is to try and pull my knee or ankle out of alignment, and then I'm supposed to fight to keep it in alignment, which will strengthen the muscles, retrain the muscles and everything to sort of track in that better direction, and hopefully that's going to give me some relief. I'm back in the gym now, and I can actually squat with some weight, but I have to use the bench, meaning I come down to the bench. I still can't go past 90 degrees. That's where the real problem with my knee happens. I'm okay up to a certain angle, but once I get into that 90-degree range, the pain becomes really intense. So I can actually, I can bend, I can go to about here, and there's not a lot of pain. But once I start getting past there, that's where the pain happens. And as you can imagine, everything in skateboarding is past this point. To ollie, you've got to squat to build enough spring to pop back up. So I can't even ollie at this point without any pain. So that's where I'm at, and I'm gonna do some exercises today, and I'll show you what the physio place has me doing to try and correct some of these exercises. And then after that, I'm going to talk a little bit about what I have found that I'm doing right now that is helping me get through this, and some exercise that I can still do to get my heart rate up, because I miss it. I miss being able to do stuff. And even running has proven to be fairly painful right now, so I can't even run. So let me get to work here in the gym, and I'll catch up with you in a few minutes. Okay, so the other thing that the physio place has turned me on to here, which can help make a big difference, is BFR training, or blood flow restriction training. And basically, you take something, a tourniquet of some kind. So these are actual BFR training bands that I picked up off of Amazon. And you put it on wherever your injury is, above the injured area. And you cinch this thing up as tight as you can get it here. There we go. It is sort of elastic. So I've got it nice and tight, and what that's going to do is start to restrict the blood flow into my quadriceps. And essentially this allows you to train with a much, much lower weight, or almost no resistance, and still get really good strength benefits over time, because it's making the quadricep work much harder because there's a lack of oxygen flowing in through the blood. So now these muscles are going to strain to do the same workload that they might be doing without this on, and a higher weight. So that way I can still train, because my right knee is actually in pretty good shape. So I can still train my right leg with some actual weight on it, and then I can train the left leg with no weight and still get some really good benefits because I've restricted the blood flow. So let's try this out, shall we? So right now, I don't want to overtrain my right leg and have it gain too much strength and then create a huge imbalance between my two legs. So right now, I'm keeping the weight pretty low. It's only a 25-pound plate, and I can get through all of my reps with this knee, no problem. There's no pain in this knee, so I'm able to do these reps, and they're actually pretty comfortable for me. And then basically, once I'm ready to switch over to the left leg, I can take the weight off. And I would say the weight of this is probably maybe maybe 10 pounds, I would say, of resistance with nothing on it, just the weight of the hamstring curl and leg extension attachment. So now I can switch over to this leg, and already I can feel like I'm gonna struggle because there's not a lot of blood flow coming in, and now I can get my same workout in with this leg while I'm restricting the blood flow. And it actually makes it pretty hard. I don't know if you can see, my leg is actually shaking trying to do this exercise because I've cut off the blood flow. And then it's not as fast as traditional weight training, meaning it'll take a little longer to build strength in this leg this way. But without it, what am I going to do? I can't do any weights on this leg yet because of my knee and the pain. So at least this lets me get through a workout and still push this leg to a level that will maintain its strength while I wait for my knee to heal. Okay, so I did say that after I went through my physiotherapy and showed you what that looks like, I would talk about what has kind of been getting me through this. Because right now, I can't skateboard. And I tried cycling, and that's bothering my knees. And I used to do a lot of running, and I tried running, and that's bothering my knees. And there is one single activity so far that I have found that doesn't bother my knees. One thing that I can do to get some cardio in, to try and stay in shape. And look, we're all skating because we love skateboarding, but because skateboarding is our escape. And right now, I don't really have an escape. Yeah, I've been playing a lot of music, and music is really helping, but music's not like a physical escape. And for someone like me that's always been very active their whole life, I need to do something physical. So I told you I'd share what has been getting me through these difficult times. And I just got back from the post office. I ordered myself a little present, a little knee gift to help me get through this. Let's check out what showed up. Oh yeah, look at these. Okay, and I know what you're thinking right now, maybe. Maybe you're saying, what the hell is wrong with you, Ryan? Are those fruit boots? Did you get fruit boots? Are you some kind of like lame-o fruit bootin' rollerblading guy? If you've been watching my videos for some time, there were a couple of videos that I posted. The one where I did the little Belleville trip, and I had my skates with me. And I talked about the fact that during the pandemic, I kind of got back into rollerblading. So I know that rollerbladers, inliners, and skateboarders have always bumped heads and have not gotten along very well over the years, but let me just explain a couple of things first. So number one, I spent 20 years touring as a skateboarder, and I've posted lots of clips of the shows that I performed in. All those shows that I performed in included a BMX rider, an inline skater, and a skateboarder. So I've been around inliners and really like professional inliners for 30 years of my life. So personally, I never had that stigma. I never felt the way that a lot of skateboarders did, where I just hated inline skaters. Some of these inline skaters became some of my closest friends, and some of them were like brothers to me. And they're still great friends to this day. So I don't have that stigma against inliners. And also, when I was touring and performing in vert shows, when you've got an inline skater that's doing backflips and 540s and you can't even touch them, they're like 12 feet over the top of the vert ramp doing these tricks, it becomes very hard to say that inlining's lame when they're going higher than you are on a skateboard. So I've always respected inliners, and I think the sport is a lot of fun. Now, these are more of like what they call a free ride inline skate. So you can see there's no like the block. There's no, I'm not, just so you know, because you're probably thinking, look, if you can jump around on inlines, why can't you skateboard? Because I can't jump around on inlines. I'm not jumping around. I'm literally just going out and skating. This is fitness for me. And I'll tell you something, at least I can roll. And why couldn't I just push down the street on my skateboard? So let me explain. When you push, you got to drive your knee, and there's a lot of pressure, which is why I'm sure that the left knee is one of the biggest problems here. It's from all the years of pushing. When you inline skate, you push out like this. That's how you propel yourself, and you're actually using your hips. When you inline skate, if you don't do it often, you'll notice the first thing that's going to happen within 10 minutes, your hips, your glutes and your hips are going to be on fire. So I can actually, I don't even have to really bend my knees. I just push out. This is how you skate. So that's why it doesn't bother my knees, and that's why I'm able to do it. And if you look down on me because I like to inline, so be it. If you think that a 47-year-old guy at this point in my life is going to care if people want to make fun of me for inline skating, be my guest. And if you're that lame to make fun of me for inline skating because right now it's the only thing I can do, okay, so be it, man. That's fine. I'm a skateboarder to the core, and trust me, if I could be out skateboarding, I would be doing that. But I actually really enjoy inlining, and I'm super stoked to have these in. I had to order them from California, and they are in, and these are the big 3-wheel, like, super speed models. So, nothing left to do today but put these things on, get them fitted up, and let's end the video with a little skate, shall we? And let's go and get some a sweat going.